Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to season 9, episode 15, overall 455 of Live with CDP Sports Entertainment Talk Show, sponsored by Barry Cullen Chevrolet at 905 Woodlawn Road West in the Guelph Auto Mall. Check out barrycullen.com for the newest selection of new and pre-owned GM vehicles, as well as their great selection of all-electric vehicles and Cadillac products as well. You can call the dealership at 519-824-0210. Tell them Chris Pomay sent you. And you can email them at info@barrycullen.com. Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show is also sponsored now by Wellington Brewery at 950 Woodlawn Road West in Guelph, Ontario. Check out their website, wellingtonbrewery.ca, and try a Welly on today. And please remember to drink responsibly as well. Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show is on WQE 99.1 FM on Saturday mornings from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. I hope everyone's doing well on this Tuesday, November 19th, 2024. And I have my guest on today, and this is going to be his second appearance on Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show. His name is Ben Volin. He's a senior NFL writer at the Boston Globe, AP NFL voter, and has covered the NFL since 2017 and the New England Patriots since 2013. Good afternoon, Ben. How you doing?
What's up, Chris? How you doing today? Thanks for having me on.
It's a great time of the year. The Canadian Football League just wrapped up their Grey Cup championship, and now the focus is on college football and the NFL.
Not to feign ignorance, who won the Grey Cup this year?
The Toronto Argonauts won their 19th Grey Cup. They beat Winnipeg 41-24 on Sunday. Winnipeg went to their 5th straight Grey Cup, but they've lost 3 in a row now, so they're being compared to the Buffalo Bills.
I was just going to say they're the Buffalo Bills of the CFL. Actually, one time, man, it's been 9 years already. It was back in 2015. We went to a Bills-Patriots game. We got there a day early, and we drove across the border. And we went to a Hamilton Ticats versus Edmonton Eskimos game. So I had a great time at Tim Hortons Stadium out there in Hamilton, and really enjoyed the CFL experience.
Absolutely. I do some media coverage for the Argonauts and the CFL. I'm lucky here in Canada, NFL, CFL, college football. And by the way, I was at the NFL draft in Detroit in April, and that was an amazing experience as media. And I didn't get a chance to talk to Drake May, but man, he's one big young kid, and he seems to have a good head on his shoulder as well.
Drake May has been a real, frankly, probably the only bright spot for the Patriots this year. He's made the season more interesting. First 5 games were pretty dreadful. Everyone loves Jacoby Brissett, but the offense just wasn't dynamic. They weren't scoring points. They were just going in circles. So they were trying to push off the move to Drake May as long as possible. They lasted till week 6. But he's been better than I think anyone could have expected, even the Patriots. I mean, the book on Drake May coming out of UNC was super talented, super athletic, but he's a project. You know, he only played 2 years of college. He also missed his senior season of high school because of the pandemic. So he hadn't played a whole lot of football. His footwork was supposed to be real bad. He's going to have trouble reading defenses. Some of that might be true, but Drake May has been a gamer so far. And I think what's most impressive for me is he looks so calm and collected out there. There's no panic in his game. He looks like totally ready for the moment. He makes some really heady plays. My favorite plays of Drake May are when he gets outside the pocket and he manages to throw the ball away. He's done it twice now where he switched it to his left hand. He throws the ball out of bounds, avoids the sack, avoids the negative plays. He makes very smart plays out there. And then, of course, I mean, he's a playmaker. He makes some great throws on the run, some big plays, some chunk throws down the field. I was most impressed this last week in the loss to the Rams. Earlier in Drake May's first few starts, he was taken off with his feet a lot. He had that game against the Titans where he ran for 95 yards. I mean, he's a great athlete, but they're working on keeping him behind the line of scrimmage, using his feet to throw. In this last game, of their 10 longest plays, 9 of them were throws by Drake May. So I think he's doing a great job of getting better week to week. Like I said, the game's not too big for him, and he makes big plays with his arm that we haven't seen since Tom Brady left 5 years ago. So still too many turnovers. They're not winning games yet. You know, that's the next step for Drake May. But, man, people have been really impressed with how he looks so far as a rookie.
Ben, I wanted to get your perspective of this. I've heard that he does remind people of a little bit of Josh Allen, who was a raw rookie when the Bills drafted him in 2018. Do you see some similarities between a younger Josh Allen and Drake May?
So that was definitely the comparison for Drake May entering the draft, and even Drake May himself was embracing it. I actually did get to talk to him for about 25 minutes at the NFL draft in Detroit the day before, and he was talking how much he patterns himself, his game after Josh Allen. He was really hoping to go play for the Giants so that he could play for Brian Dable, who helped develop Josh Allen. And I don't think it's blasphemous to say that Drake does remind you of Josh Allen, especially when he's out there scampering around. He's not quite as big as Josh Allen. Josh Allen is like 6'5", 6'6". Drake May is more 6'4". And he's not necessarily going to run guys over the way that Josh Allen does. But Drake is still a big, fast, athletic kid. And when he is scampering around out there, he does look like Josh Allen, and he does make big plays. Drake, I think, is averaging over 9 yards per carry right now, which is, phenomenal. Lamar Jackson's at like 6.5 yards a carry. So Drake is definitely a playmaker with his feet. He's got a big arm like Josh Allen does, but I would venture that I think Drake is further ahead as a rookie than where Josh Allen was as a rookie. I remember watching Josh Allen as a rookie. He was so erratic. His accuracy, He looked like Anthony Richardson out there, just sailing throws left and right. You're never quite sure where the ball was going to go. He was making big plays, but he was just so like erratic with his arm, with his feet, making mistakes. Like that hasn't been Drake May so far. Drake May has been pretty composed and has made some big plays, and his accuracy has been pretty impressive, especially for a guy who they said his footwork wasn't going to be very good. So I definitely do see the Josh Allen comparisons, but I think Drake May is already a little more restrained and has his game a little more refined than Josh Allen did at that point.
What areas of May's game do you feel he needs to work on going forward? And do you feel that May should have been named the starter instead of the veteran Jacoby Brissett in training camp?
It does. I think it's pretty clear that May is the better quarterback, and he would have given them a better chance to win. Although, to be fair to Jacoby, he did come in that Jets game a few weeks ago and got the win in relief. So Drake May technically has 2 wins on his resume, but one of them is really Jacoby Brissett's. But I think it's pretty clear that Drake is the better quarterback. That said, I'm okay with the timeline. This year was not about obviously you want to make the playoffs, but this is year 1 of a new program. They're rebuilding. I don't think realistically the Patriots should have expected to be a playoff contender. And playing Drake early in the season before the Patriots had their offensive line settled, before they knew anything about the receivers, he could have gotten hurt. Like a lot of bad things could have happened early in the season. So I think it's totally fine that they gave him 5 weeks to sit and watch and learn and let the team kind of sort itself out around him. Now, I don't think he has much help right now, and I think that's the big issue. But the turnovers are really key. Jacoby Brissett, I think, has only thrown 1 interception in his 5.5 games, whereas Drake May has thrown 4 or 5 now. He's had a couple fumbles as well. Not all his fault, of course, but he's making the rookie mistakes that you're okay with now, but you just don't want to see him repeat them. But ball security has got to be number 1 for Drake May, and then learning how to win games in the fourth quarter. They've had opportunities against the Titans and now this past week against the Rams where they had an opportunity to win the game and they came up short. Again, everyone kind of looks past it now because Drake May is a rookie, but those are the areas he's showing the physical gifts. Eventually you want to start seeing, can he play winning football and put the Patriots in the win column.
As a young quarterback, do you still see some tunnel vision out there with him on the field?
Yeah, it's hard to know exactly what his reads are going to be. But I will say, like what I said before about how he, a lot of times you'll see young quarterbacks, if their first read isn't there, man, they just take off and they use their feet and they scramble around. And I was expecting a lot of that with Drake May, and it hasn't been that way. He is really hung behind the line of scrimmage, not necessarily in the pocket, but he is not just looking to take off now. He's looking to make plays with his arm. And he's, again, it sounds blasphemous, but he's got a little bit of Mahomes in him where he kind of scrambles around behind the line of scrimmage. And he's got a good thing going with Hunter Henry, like the unspoken communication. They're great on those scramble plays. Like, I'm going to run around, you find an open piece of grass. they've hit several big throws on kind of those improvised plays. So Drake May, I don't see it where he's just not seeing the field and he just wants to take off. Like I think he's like the game is really coming slow to him, and I don't know if he's always going through his progressions correctly, but he doesn't look panicked out there. He looks like he knows what he's doing, and he's really operating the offense at a pretty high level right now.
What's the overall mood of the Patriots fan base and the media with the New England Patriots, especially with Drake May obviously showing potential, a lot of potential?
Yeah, I mean, Drake May is the reason to tune in right now. It's not the defense. It's not like they have any other playmakers on offense. They're probably not going to win many more games, and I think the fans all are realistic about that. But Drake May is fun to watch, and he's the future now. And you want to like it's almost like golf. You might shoot 20 over par, but there's 2 or 3 shots every round that keep you coming back, and that's what it's like watching the Patriots with Drake May right now. They're not going to win, but man, you want to see him make 3 or 4 highlight plays and show the qualities that tell people that he's going to be a franchise quarterback in the future. So, it's been disappointing. I think the coaching with Gerard Mayo and staff, you've seen that they're rookies too, and they've made some mistakes and have cost the Patriots some wins. I really think they cost them this past Sunday against the Rams with some, questionable decisions, not going for it enough on 4th down, not being aggressive enough, really kind of coaching scared. And I think it caught up to them. And it's happened a few times. They had a chance to win in Tennessee by going for 2 on the last play of regulation. They kicked the extra point, then lost in overtime. So people are still kind of out. The jury's still out on Gerard Mayo. A lot of fans aren't too thrilled with him. Alex Van Pelt, the offensive coordinator, that's everyone's favorite pastime is to blame the offensive coordinator and say he needs to be fired. But, I don't know about the coaches, but I know that Drake May has been great so far and that he's given Patriots at least some reason for optimism and to keep tuning into their games this year.
Do you feel that a veteran coach and the coaching staff might have been better for this team, or do you feel long-term Mayo can be a very good head coach in this league and help develop this team into being a playoff team going in 2025 and beyond?
Yeah, I have no idea about Gerard Mayo. I will say I don't think he's shown anything this year to make you optimistic that he's really building a program and putting it all together. Like at least with the Lions, when they started with Dan Campbell, they were building toughness and he kept going for it on 4th down. He kept trying to show faith in his players and, building that belief inside the locker room. And you don't really see that with Gerard Mayo as like I said, he's just kind of coaching scared right now and not making the right decisions on 4th down and not putting the faith in his team. I do think they would have been better off with a veteran coach. There are 2 that were obvious for them. One is Mike Vrabel, who got fired by the Titans, former Patriot, former coach. He's been there. He's done that. He's a former NFL coach of the year. So I thought Vrabel would have been a great choice. And I think Brian Flores would have been a great choice. Another guy who I think what we're seeing in Miami, he got a lot more out of less talent in Miami than what Mike McDaniel is getting out of much more talented roster with the Dolphins. And Brian Flores' defense in Minnesota has been phenomenal this year. And he's another guy, former Patriot, has experience. I think either of those guys, Vrabel or Flores, would have been a better choice for Gerard Mayo, who is really inexperienced, not just as a head coach, but just as a coach in general. He's only been doing it for 5 years. I never really had any coordinator experience before getting this big time job. So, he's learning on the job too. And it's like the more that he looks like a rookie coach, the less you blame him and the more you want to blame the Crafts. They're the ones who decided to go with this setup. Everyone thought it was kind of unusual for them to just hand the job to such an unproven commodity, not even do interviews with other outside candidates. So again, it's kind of on the Crafts they're the ones who chose to go into the season with this very inexperienced coach. And I think, honestly, the inexperience has cost them in 2 or 3 games this year. And with better coaching, they'd probably be, instead of 3-8, they'd probably be 5-6, 6-5, and right in the thick of the wild card race right now.
There's no reason why they can't finish at least third in the East. I think Miami's it's playing better now with Tula back. The Jets are a disaster. And Ben, before we let you go, I just wanted to get your quick thoughts on the upcoming game against the 4-6 Dolphins and some quick keys to a Patriots win on the road in Miami.
They've got to get after Tua. I think we saw that 2 weeks ago against the Rams, where even though the Dolphins won that game, the Rams really got on top of Tua with their front four and made life miserable for them. And that's been tough for the Patriots. I mean, Miami's been a difficult place for them to play. Even Bill Belichick's team struggled down there. The way that the Patriots defense, they had 9 sacks against the Bears 2 weeks ago. And other than that, like that's such an anomaly for them. The Patriots otherwise have had 2 sacks in their other 4 games recently, and they've been getting run all over. And, last week they barely laid a finger on Matthew Stafford. So they've got to find a way to get into his face. The Patriots have only forced 1 takeaway in the last 5 games. They've got to get their hands up, tip balls at the line of scrimmage, knock the ball out of Tua's hands, find a way to disrupt him, because otherwise it's going to be another long day down there. Not that I think the Dolphins are some great team, but the Patriots haven't been playing winning football, and if they can't create turnovers, it's going to be real difficult for them on Sunday.
And Ben, just really quick impressions of the 2024 NFL season after Week 11, and who have been some surprises and some huge disappointments so far.
Surprises. I mean, I guess one surprise would be just that the Lions are as good as they are given the expectations. I mean, to be 9-1, best offense in the league when they have a target on their back this year, has been very impressive. Obviously, you got to go Jaden Daniels in the Commanders and Russell Wilson in the Steelers have been outstanding stories this year. Sam Darnold in the Vikings, a lot with Wilson and Darnold, 2 quarterbacks who are kind of left for dead. We're really having nice, kind of a renaissance season and have their teams back in winning position. But at the end of the day, it still looks like it's going to be either the Chiefs or the Bills in the AFC, and it's probably going to be the Lions in the NFC. Maybe the Eagles. That's a team that's really coming on strong and has a very easy, manageable schedule down the stretch. So the Eagles are definitely a force to be reckoned with. Biggest disappointments, I mean, the Jets. Who thought that we'd be sitting here in November? They've already fired their head coach and their GM, trading away players. I mean, just totally dysfunctional. I thought the Aaron Rodgers experiment was going to turn out better than it has. That team is just an absolute mess. Woody Johnson has no idea what he's doing. They're going to be hitting the reset button in a big way, obviously, after the season. And you could probably say the same about the Jacksonville Jaguars, losing 52-6 last week. Doug Peterson can start packing up his desk. That's a team, the Jaguars, they're on the verge of getting the number 1 pick for the 3rd time in 5 years, which has never happened before. So Jaguars and Jets just totally dysfunctional, which I guess is a surprise. But on the other hand, those teams always are dysfunctional. So we should have seen it coming.
And the Jags have 2 quarterbacks that never have lived up to their potential, and Trevor Lawrence and Mac Jones, who's with the Patriots.
That's right. Mac Jones, at this point, is probably going to have a tough time getting a backup job next year with the way he's looked the last 2 weeks, just, completely non-functional and non-competitive in these 2 games. And Trevor Lawrence absolutely, has been a disappointment for a guy who was a number 1 pick, was getting hyped as, the next Peyton Manning, Andrew Luck, that kind of guy. And after his second year, had a great run in the second half of the season, that big playoff win over the Chargers, and just has gone completely backwards the last 2 years with Doug Peterson. And you can't put it all on the coaching. A lot of it is on Trevor Lawrence. And I think there are legitimate questions about how much effort is he really putting in? Does he really truly want it as much as other quarterbacks do? Is he showing enough leadership? That the number 1 pick and franchise guy, $275 million contract that all requires. So certainly too young to write off Trevor Lawrence, but I don't think there's any question that the Jaguars should have expected a lot more out of their number 1 pick than they've gotten so far.
And finally, Ben, where can my audience follow you on social media and the best way of contacting you?
For now, I'm still on X, still posting on there at
Okay.
Ben Volin, just my name, one word, and same over on Blue Sky. I've created an account. Waiting for a few more people to make the migration over there as well, and I'll probably start making the switch over to Blue Sky. But either way, it's just at Ben Volin, and you can check out my work too at bostonglobe.com.
I'm going to have to look at Sky Blue too as well. There's so many of these social media sites. It's hard to keep up with them. But hey, Ben, I want to say thank you for giving us some time out of your busy schedule to talk Patriots and Drake May with us. And you have an open invite to come back on my show again in the future.
Great. Thanks so much, Chris. I appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Ben. Have a great day.
All right. Thanks, man.
All right, guys, that was Ben Volin from the Boston Globe, who has covered the New England Patriots since 2013 and the NFL since 2007 with the Miami Dolphins. So you can reach Ben Volin at Ben.Volin@globe.com. And Ben is on Twitter X as well. You can follow him on Twitter X at Ben Volin. And he's also on the Boston Globe. So if you like good NFL articles or coverage of the New England Patriots, check out the bostonglobe.com and type in Ben Volin as well. Before we wrap up our show, guys, today, I'm going to play a little video courtesy of TSN and highlights of the 2024 CFL Grey Cup, where the Toronto Argonauts defeated the Winnipeg Blue Bombers 41-24 to win the Argonauts' 19th Grey Cup championship, the most in CFL history, and their 25th appearance. And the Argos have now won 8 straight Grey Cup appearances dating back to 1991. Their last Grey Cup loss was 1987 at BC Place against the Edmonton Elks, 38-36. And the Argos are also lifetime 8-0 in the Grey Cup against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. And the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, 5 straight Grey Cups in a row, have now lost 3 of them in a row after winning back-to-back cups. So we're going to play this clip from the TSN's YouTube channel, highlights of the Argos Blue Bombers 111th Grey Cup, again, courtesy of TSN.
For the second time in 3 years, the Toronto Argonauts have won the cup more than any team in history. Great time. Welcome to the 111th Grey Cup from BC Place. For a team that's looking to get over the heartbreak of losing the last 2, the 2024 Grey Cup is underway. And it's Lucky Whitehead on the return for Winnipeg. Lira Myra-Lau, the Grey Cup winning kick for Toronto back in 2017 on looking for the first points of this Grey Cup with John Haggard putting it down. The Argos drive down, they get close. They settle for 3. First and goal at the Toronto 3. He keeps it, he pushes, still at his feet, and into the end zone for a Winnipeg touchdown. They get him close. Sergio Castillo puts it through. And that increases Winnipeg's lead to a touchdown. Veteran who first appeared in the Grey Cup back with Edmonton in 2015. Here's Lira Myra-Lau looking to put 3 more on the board. Stop the Argos, force the field goal. Winnipeg ball still up by 4. Under 2 minutes to go, but as you say, that is still an eternity. Deep look again! Intercepted this time! Benji Franklin, what a tear he's been on in the playoffs. And he is good. Kassar, who's tied for the CFL lead in special teams tackles with a big fumble recovery. Here come the Argos now. Nital, 10, 5, touchdown. Just like that for the Argos. After the turnover,
it's the quick release of Nick Arbuckle that makes it happen. He's got pressure coming at him on the play action, but he gets it out there quick enough so Nital can turn the corner and to get a chance to see what he has in front of him as far as tacklers for the Bombers. He hurdles the last one. Touchdown Argos.
Sergio Castillo, 1 for 1 on the night. Make that 2 for 2. Castillo, another one, and more flags as well.
Nick Taylor, by the way, is a safety.
2nd and 6. Arbuckle with time. Looks, end zone, touchdown! Dejan Brissett.
And awesome throw on time for Nick Arbuckle. Freezing the safety with his look because there's 2 receivers down the field. And remember, Brandon Alexander had rotated down because of the injury to Reddick Ramsey.
For another point after try. And he puts it through. Winnipeg, 27. Claris. The time. Throwing. Oh, intercepted. Deshaun Amos has it. And a big return, 2 for Amos. Finally forced out all the way down to the Winnipeg 15. inside the 15. 4 for 4. Down 11. Big moment in this Grey Cup for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Pressure coming. Collaros quickly get rid of it. It's picked off. Intercepted. Robert Priester, and he's taking it back all the way. Touchdown, Toronto. And a play that might have just about done it for the Argonauts.
Came back in recent weeks from that injury, Rod, but is a veteran player that got the starts early before he was hurt. And he just jumped the look from Zach Collaros and took it to the house.
First and goal. We didn't get the touchdown, but the Argos are close to another. 3-2-1 touchdown. Kadeem Carey has a Grey Cup touchdown.
And he's chipped in. It's been a quiet 80 yards for Kadeem Carey to help in providing some balance in this offense for Nick Arbuckle. The stage was never too big for him from the very first snap to that one right there.
Lahu again. That leg seems just fine. 1 year, 10 years ago with Calgary against Collaros and the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Trying to find the end zone. There they do. A touchdown for Winnipeg. The last time they lost in a Grey Cup was on this field in 1987. Oliveira. And that's for 2. Before eventually starring at Georgia State. But now he's a Grey Cup champion. Cameron Dukes. Final play. Well, they lost their number 1 quarterback, but the Argos still found a way. For the second time in 3 years, Toronto is the Grey Cup champion.
And now it is my honor and privilege on behalf of the CFL's Board of Governors to award the 2024 Grey Cup 111 to the Grey Cup champions, Toronto Argonauts, and to Mr. Larry Tannenbaum, the chairman of Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment.
This clip was courtesy of TSN and the Toronto Argonauts of the Canadian Football League, who just had their Grey Cup rally celebration this afternoon at Scotiabank Arena. The Toronto Argonauts' 19th Grey Cup championship in their 151-year history. Nick Arbuckle was named the most valuable player. Nick was 26 for 37, 252 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. A journeyman quarterback that had to come in when Chad Kelly broke his leg in the East Final against the Alouettes. This story is similar to Nick Foles, a journeyman quarterback with the Philadelphia Eagles in 2017 when they were having a great year. When Carson Wentz, their franchise quarterback, tore his ACL against the Rams, everybody wrote the Eagles off, and Nick Foles went in and beat Atlanta, beat the Rams, beat the New England Patriots for their Super Bowl championship in Super Bowl 52. So I see a lot of similarities between the Nick Foles story and the Nick Arbuckle story. And Arbuckle will now be known as a forever Argo legend as well. And besides Arbuckle being the MVP of the Grey Cup, Mississauga, Ontario native wide receiver Dijon Bassett was the most outstanding Canadian with 3 catches for 45 yards and 1 touchdown as well. And I wanted to give Ryan Dinwiddie credit. Doing some freelance media coverage of the Argos this year, and as a season ticket holder, I got to spend time with the players and coaches and interview Ryan Dinwiddie a lot. And I want to say thank you to Chris Belinovich, who's the manager of media communications for the Toronto Argonauts, for my media opportunities. And Ryan Dinwiddie's only been in Toronto 4 years, and he's already won 2 Grey Cups, taken the team to the playoffs 4 years in a row, the East Final 4 years in a row, and 3 straight first place finishes as well. And he surpassed Obi for most Grey Cups. Bob Obilovich, who won 89 games with the Argos in the 80s and early 90s, won only 1 out of 3 Grey Cups. Ryan Dinwiddie in 4 years is now going to go up there with the greats, obviously with Obi, Bob Obilovich, or Obi, and Don Matthews, who won back-to-back Grey Cups in 96, 97. Ryan Dinwiddie just knows how to win, and his 4 years in Toronto have been very successful. And shout out to Michael Pinball Clements, his 8th Grey Cup win. He won 3 as a player, 1 as a coach, and now 4 as an executive general manager. Outstanding. And then John Murphy, bringing in the right guys. This Argonaut team in 2024 lost a lot of players to free agencies, and they ended up moving Curly Gittins Jr. This past season to Edmonton for Jake Serezna, and Jake Serezna, outstanding defensive end for the Argonauts. And the Argonauts played as a team. And the defense, I know the front four gets a lot of credit. Wynton McManus and the linebackers get a lot of credit, but their secondary, Deshaun Amos and Benji Franklin, the guys in the secondary made big plays. And this Argonaut team in the playoffs, they scored 58 against Ottawa, 30 against Montreal on the road, and then they scored 41 against Winnipeg. This Grey Cup was a nail biter. It was really 17-16 Argos after 3 quarters, and then the Argos blew it open in the 4th quarter with the pick 6 by Robert Priestner. And Benji Franklin had another interception, and Deshaun Amos. The Argos had 4 interceptions in this game, which tied a CFL record. So the Toronto Argonauts, by the way, everyone talks about the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, back-to-back Grey Cups, 5 straight appearances. They've had a great run. The Toronto Argonauts now have won 3 Grey Cups in 7 years. Since 2017, they've won 3 Grey Cups. And this is their 5th Grey Cup since 1999. Hamilton Tiger Cats have not won a Grey Cup since 1999 as well. So credit to the Toronto Argonauts organization. They proved a lot of skeptics and doubters wrong, and winning their 19th Grey Cup. And I wish I could have been at their parade today, but unfortunately I wasn't able to. So I'm going to miss the CFL, but it will be back in May. And next year's Grey Cup, the 112th Grey Cup, will be at Princess Auto Stadium in Winnipeg. And recently, I just spoke to the voice of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers just before the Grey Cup, Derek Taylor from CJOB 680 in Winnipeg. Please check out my show with Derek Taylor. And the Winnipeg Blue Bombers will be back next year. They're hosting the Grey Cup in Winnipeg, and I don't see Kyle Walters or Michael Shea having this team not be competitive and successful and try to get back to a Grey Cup for a 6th straight time, which hasn't been done since the 1978 to 1982 Edmonton Eskimos, now known as the Elks. Before we wrap up this show, guys, the next live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, sponsored by BarryCullen.com and WellingtonBrewery.com here in Guelph, Wednesday, November 20th at 2:30 p.m. Eastern, which is tomorrow, with special guest Cameron Kay, a stand-up comedian out of Michigan. So Cameron Kay, a stand-up comedian out of Michigan, will be on tomorrow at 2:30 for season 9, episode 16 of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show. By the way, guys, if you like good, fresh Mexican food, check out Guac Mex Grill at 1005 Paisley Road in Guelph. They have the best guac in Guelph. If you love guacamole and avocados and guacamole, check out Guac Mex Grill, 1005 Paisley Road in Guelph. They have the best guacamole in Guelph, and they're just right near where Zayres is, Ontario. So Guac Mexi Grill as well. Wellington Brewery, started up in 1985, is my new sponsor. They're at 950 Woodlawn Road West in Guelph, Ontario. WellingtonBrewery.ca, 519-837-2337. Try a Welly on, and please remember to drink responsibly as well. And speaking of Wellington Brewery, right now, when you visit Wellington Brewery, check out their Walrus Wee Heavy Scotch Ale. 50 cents from every can or pint sold goes to their Movember campaign through Jeff Morrison, and it's for men's health and getting tested and checked for cancer as well. So Wallace Wee Heavy Scotch Ale available at Wellington Brewery. And again, 50 cents from each can or pint sold goes to Movember. And they're having a big event there on Saturday, November 30th at 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. at Wellington Brewery. It's a final celebration of Movember, and they're going to be having guys get their mustaches cut. There'll be beer, a barber there to get your mustache goatee trimmed off, and they'll have some music there as well. So more information at wellingtonbrewery.ca or movember.ca, or contact Jeff Morrison through Facebook as well. By the way, guys, my other sponsor, Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership at 905 Woodlawn Road West in the Guelph Automall. Right now, winter is coming. I know it's hard to believe, being November 19th doesn't feel like winter, but winter is coming, and Barry Cullen has winter tires to help keep you safe on the road. Get up to $120 in instant rebates with a purchase of 4 new tires. Offer ends December 31st, and check out barrycullen.com or drop by the dealership for more details on their winter tire special, which the offer ends December 31st. As always, if you're looking to adopt a pet, check out the Cambridge District Humane Society, 1650 Dunbar Road in Cambridge, Ontario. Phone number 519-623-7722, extension 0, or visit their website, cambridgehumanesociety.org. If you're looking to volunteer, you can do it through their website. And all the animals up for adoption there, check out cambridgehumanesociety.org. And speaking of Cambridge Humane Society right now, they're doing a monthly 50-50 raffle, and the money goes towards their programs at the Cambridge District Humane Society. You can get tickets through their website, cambridgehumanesociety.org, and click on events and get your ticket today, which I'm going to be as well. And speaking of Cambridge District Humane Society, I am currently selling 2025 Cambridge District Humane Society calendars for only $10 cash, or you can PayPal me at cpomay19@gmail.com. That's cpomay19@gmail.com on PayPal if you're out of town, if you'd like to buy a calendar. And otherwise, they were $10 cash. They did a really great job on these calendars. And if you're looking for a Christmas stocking stuffer, please consider purchasing a calendar 2025 Cambridge Humane Society from yours truly as well. Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show is still on radio station WQEE 99.1 FM in Noonan, Georgia. But with their format change, my show is now on Saturday mornings from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Saturday, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. on WQEE 99.1 FM. Live with CDP Sports Entertainment Talk Show is live streamed on these platforms: YouTube, Facebook, Twitter /X, Twitch, LinkedIn, and now available on Instagram. And make sure you hit those follow notifications. You can check out my website, beacons.ai/Chris D. Pomay, all my social media sites, my previous radio shows, and my digital media content is on beacons.ai/Chris D. Pomay. Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show again is sponsored by Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership at 905 Woodlawn Road West in the Guelph Automall. Check out barrycullen.com for the newest selection of new and pre-owned GM vehicles, or give the dealership a call at 519-824-0210, or email them at info@barrycullen.com. And Barry Cullen Chevrolet has been a proud sponsor of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show since September 2022. And they also are a family run and operated dealership here in the city of Guelph since 1969. So if you're looking for a GM or a Cadillac all electric vehicle, check out barrycullen.com or drop by the dealership as well. And make sure you tell them Chris Pomay sent you as well. Live with CDP t-shirts are coming soon. They are going to be priced at $20, and the sizes are going to be medium, large, extra large, double extra large, and even triple extra large as well. You can follow me on TikTok at Live with CDP. Make sure you hit that follow notification. I produce a lot of content on TikTok, and I want to say thank you to my 2,500 plus followers on TikTok. StreamYard is the official live stream provider of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show. If you're into webinars or podcasting, check out StreamYard.com. They have basic free plans, they have professional paid plans that I have. And if you're a business that does a lot of webinars or podcasting, etc., check out StreamYard.com and contact their sales department. And I've been a proud customer of StreamYard for 4 years and counting. Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Podcast. The audio version is available on these platforms: iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Spotify for podcasters, Apple Podcasts, Breaker, Pocket Casts, Spotify, Castbox, LinkedIn, Pandora, Tuned In, YouTube Music, Good Pods, and remember to hit that subscribe and like notification. And I want to say thank you to my 483 subscribers on YouTube. I'm trying to get to 500, so please check out Chris Pomay's Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show on YouTube. Hit that subscribe and the like notification. And I also just reached 271,000 views on my YouTube channel. So thank you to everyone again for subscribing and watching my YouTube channel. And my next goal is to get to 500 subscribers. I'm 17 short, so whoever's ever watching this today live stream or on audio or on the radio station in Georgia, please hit the subscribe and like notifications. Finally, you guys can email me at Live with CDP Sports Entertainment Talk Show at cpomay19@gmail.com. And again, if you'd like to help support my radio show and media work, you can do it through PayPal, cpomay19@gmail.com for PayPal. And if you have any comments, questions, suggestions, and feedback about my show, please email me at cpomay19@gmail.com. By the way, I am also on cameo.com. If you'd like a personalized video message from yours truly, CDP, Chris Pomay, click on cameo.com and type in my name, Chris Pomay, and I'd be happy to give you a cameo video as soon as today. And all the proceeds will go to my radio and media show as well. Again, I want to say thank you to my guest, Ben Volin from the Boston Globe, for coming on today. He's an NFL reporter covering the NFL since 2007, originally with the Miami Dolphins, and Ben has been covering the New England Patriots for 2013. So check out Ben Volin at bostonglobe.com, or you can check him out on Twitter, X as well. And again, I want to say thank you to Jackie Hanna at Wellington Brewery at 950 Woodlawn Road West in Guelph, Ontario, wellingtonbrewery.ca, 519-837-2337. Try a Wellion, and please remember to drink responsibly. And I want to say thank you to Wellington Brewery for being a sponsor of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, along with Barry Collins Chevrolet dealership here in Guelph. And anybody out there that's watching this show and would like to get their business advertised on my show, please feel free to DM me on social media or cpomay19@gmail.com. And Thursday night football, guys, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers 8-2 taking on the Cleveland Browns, who are 2-8. So Pittsburgh Cleveland is our Thursday night matchup at 8:15 as well. And that's about it, guys. Again, want to say thank you to Ben Volin for coming on from the Boston Globe today. And thank you to everyone for watching this live stream and on my audio platforms, and of course on WQEE 99.1 FM. I hope everybody has a great day, and I hope you guys can tune into my next show Wednesday, November 20th at 2:30 with special guest Cameron Kay, a stand-up comedian out of the great state of Michigan. So that wraps up today's show. And again, thank you to Ben Volin for coming on from the Boston Globe. And congratulations to the 2024 Canadian Football League Grey Cup champion Toronto Argonauts for winning their 19th Grey Cup and being a part of their team this year as freelance media and as a season ticket holder. If you're looking to support a winning team in Toronto, go to argonauts.ca and click on season tickets. They are the best on-field product in the city of Toronto as well. And my next media endeavors, fingers crossed, will be with the National Lacrosse League World Champion Buffalo Bandits, who are back-to-back champs, and they're going to be starting up in the month of December, and hopefully I'll be back doing some freelance media coverage of the Buffalo Bandits at the KeyBank Center as well. In the National Lacrosse League, you can check out their website at nll.com. And again, if you're interested in Argo season tickets next year, argonauts.ca/season tickets. That's about it. I hope everybody has a great afternoon, and we'll see you back here tomorrow for season 9, episode 16, overall 456, with Cameron Kay, a stand-up comedian out of the state of Michigan. Have a great afternoon, everybody, and thanks for watching and listening to Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, brought to you by Barry Cullen Chevrolet and Wellington Brewery here in Guelph.